Hey YouTube, Vermont Prepper. For those of you who follow the channel, you know that I play the drums. And what I'm doing right now is unboxing my John Bonham kit. That's what I call it, because it's the same dimensions of drums that John Bonham used. And this particular one right here is the 26-inch bass drum, which is very huge. I have some other kits that have 24-inch, but this is 26-inch, and from videos it sounds unbelievable. So I'm not going to take it out of the plastic right now because I'm driving it down with the rest of the drums to Florida, Sarasota, where my brother is setting up a room, a music room, because he's a guitarist and he's finishing it off in cedar in his backyard. It's a separate room from the house, and it's environmentally controlled, tongue and groove cedar, so it's going to sound really cool. And we got that idea from a Metallica video where they had tongue and groove cedar, which was really cool in their music studio. And this is the new Diablo red color. Let's see if I could just get a good peek at it here for everybody. I don't want to be a tease. It's a new Diablo red color, so it's super, super cool. It's like a candy apple almost. And it's going to look really good, and it's going to, more importantly, sound really good. Because I've heard them on video. If you tune them properly, you get a really cool Zeppelin sound. Now, it's not going to be John Bonham, but it's going to be as close as possible, right? Nobody's John Bonham. These are the rest of the drums I already have set up in cases, and I have one is a 18-inch floor tom, another one's 16-inch, and then you have your tom in the front, which is a 14-inch, and then you have your, I have my Ludwig Supraphonic, the 6.5 by 14-inch snare, and it's a 1971. Super cool. Try and keep everything as period as possible, including the cymbals, which I'll show you those. But here's the snare. It's in really good shape for a 1971. Take a look at that. I changed the head on it. It's even stamped, like, I think it's September 3rd, 1971 inside. But you could tell that's 1971 from the serial number right there. It starts with an 84, 2 or 3. I can't really see, but it looks like 843 261, and it's 6 numbers. And if you go on Ludwig's site, you'll see that they have some serial numbers that correspond to the year, and this does indeed correspond to the year 1971, as well as having the original Ludwig stamp in there saying so. So these things are ultra rare, hard to find. They sell very quickly, so if you're a big John Bonham fan like I am, and you can afford it, well worth it to get one of these things. And even ones that are all the way up to, I'd say, 79 or 80 are worth getting. I have a 78 as well. So, and they do sound really close to, you know, his particular snare drum if you tune it properly. And I have a tuner, and there's guys that know a lot more than I do on YouTube that tune these kits to what they believe is John Bonham specs, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to follow a YouTube video to do that, and you got to tune the top and the bottom head certain frequencies. So what I'm going to use with this kit is a Bose PA, and it's the Model 1S with the B2 bass. And I actually have 2 of these things, and the reason why I have 2, I only anticipated having this one right here, but over the holidays, Thanksgiving, they had a huge sale on bows, and this particular PA system, when I paid for it last year, was $1,700, $1,800. They had it on sale for $1,079 on Pro Audio Star, and just got delivered today at my brother's house, and can't wait to get that set up there. So I'm gonna have one in Vermont and one there, and then what I'll do eventually is get these both together, and you can put them in stereo, which is super cool. So I have for that, you could do it with two ways. I have a line 6 M20D rather, and then I also have a Bose T8S tone match mixer. So I use this one for my Alesis kit right here. This is the Alesis Strike Pro SE, the new kit, and it sounds phenomenal. Much better than Roland. I don't care what anybody says. I know there's going to be haters out there, but I'm going to do a video on this, and you're going to agree with me. And if you look at some of my videos, you'll see the sound. But I'm going to show you the settings that I use, because I get that question a lot. What settings I use, and I really spent a lot of time tuning this particular kit through the module. And you can tune with triggers, and I ended up setting up 2 extra cymbals there. It comes with these bigger cymbals, but I was able to use Y connectors and use the rim as a separate trigger and make totally different sounds from each of these cymbals right here. And of course, this is the Malacat that Neil Peart uses, or used in his, I'd say from 2000s on. Alright, and I use Yamaha monitors, a 15-inch. Never get a 10-inch or 12-inch for a drum monitor, because it's going to sound really bad. The bass drum's going to sound really bad. The toms might sound okay, but bass drums are horrible with 10-inch or 12-inch. You want the 15s. And then finally, when I get these both in stereo, and hopefully be getting a house in the next year or year and a half, I'll set these suckers up with my other Tama kit. These are the Ayote custom drums. They were made in Canada back in the mid to late 90s. Like, I believe this is a 1996 or 7 kit, and still in super mint condition. I never took these out at all. I just kept them inside at all times. Number one, it's too big. It'd take too long to really set up, but more importantly, I didn't want to mess them up. These actually have wood hoops on them, and I just set these up in my apartment. Believe it or not, I set them up in an apartment. I haven't played them. Isn't that crazy? But I wanted to have them set up, and because I bought a new Gibraltar rack, and I wanted to make sure everything was situated so that I can use some memory clamps and disassemble it and reassemble it a lot quicker. And then I'll show you the cymbals that I'm going to use with the Bonham kit. I have them set up on this drum set, but I'm going to take them off. I have different cymbals for this. So we'll start with the ride cymbal. The ride cymbal is they say, I grew up calling it Paiste, but it's really Paiste, and I hate saying that with that stupid accent in there. It's the Black Label 2002 24-inch ride, and if you are a Bonham fan, you'll know that these are super, super rare, and I spent probably a good 8 months every day on reverb, and eBay. I had alerts on eBay looking for this thing. And this is a 1976, and you could tell it's a 1976 by the serial number. The first number is the actual year in the 70s. If it starts with a 0, it's an 80. But the rest of them are 1970s. So this is the black label. Now they make the red label. It's the follow-on, and they sound decent, but you could tell the difference between the red and the black label. I think the red label's a little bit brighter in my view, actually. But this is the way the cymbal came. It came almost mint condition, really. A little bit darkened from time, but I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, it doesn't do justice, you know, playing it here in my apartment. I gotta play it somewhere where I can really hit it. This Bonham actually used the ride at times for crashing as well. So, and then I have a 20-inch. At one point, he used a 20-inch. He didn't start out with a 20-inch, but he did have one at some point. And this is a 1980 cymbal, actually, but it's the black. They're all black labels. So the next one is a 1977 18-inch crash, or actually it's an 18-inch ride, and then this one's an 18-inch crash, which he used as well. So he used two 18 inches at once, and that's something. And this one's a 1976. This one is probably could use a cleaning. I want to hear how it sounds before I start cleaning the cymbals, because I don't want to mess up the age-related sound that you get with vintage equipment. So basically, I try and stay everything period-wise for the Bonham kit, with the exception of the actual bass drum and toms. And like I said, those kits, the bass drum and toms, if you tune them properly, they sound really, really close to the 1970s 3-ply Ludwig that Bonham used. This kit, I'll finish going over this kit. This is my 4-inch piccolo. Neil Peart uses this in a song that I play. It's actually not a Rush song, but he played in it. It's Vertical Horizon is the name of the band, and the song is called Instamatic. If you ever get a chance to look it up, I think it's one of his best drumming performances ever, and there's a really cool video for it. It shows the making of it and him in the studio playing it. And it probably took me a good 3 months to learn it, because I wasn't familiar with the song at all, and there's a lot going on. But it's super cool. And then we have DW concert toms, a 6 and 8-inch, and then you have a 10-inch, 12-inch, 13-inch, 14-inch, 16-inch, and then two 24 by 18-inch bass drums. And I have the Paiste 15-inch hi-hats. Okay, and then the Mino ching ring, and these shell-looking bells as well wrapped around there. I forget what they call those, but it's also Mino. And then what I did is I added, this is from the 70s right here, 70s Slingerland 18 by 20, I believe it's 20, 18 by 20 floor tom. And then this one, this big sucker right here is a 20-inch. This one's from the 80s, and they're both in really good shape. Really pleased with these particular floor toms. And what I'm going to do is, with this big one, I'm actually going to mount it like on an angle right here, so that I can just go from here up to here. when you're playing. Again, it's a sort of like from the Neil Peart influence that he has on me. And then I'll use one of these snares with it. This is the original Ayote snare that came with the kit, and that thing's absolutely mint. This is the Dixon. This is actually my daughter's. I got that for her. And this is the A&F, I think they call it Anka. I pronounce it Anka snare. And this is the collaboration between them and Sabian. This is only one of 19 snares in the world. Hand hammered by Sabian, or by A&F. Sabian provided the material, and A&F forged it. This one right here is a 78 Supraphonic right there. Again, really great shape, and very little difference between that and the 71. This one right here is a 1980-ish Slingerland Magnum snare drum, and it's 14 by I believe it's 7, could be 8, but I believe it's 7. This is a 14 by 8, so this one looks a little smaller. 14 by 7, and this has what's called the slapshot strainer, really ingenious strainer, but I have 2 strands that are missing, and they're the actual strainers are really hard to find. I haven't found one yet. I have that alerted on eBay as well. And this, it's going to be between this Oriolo, this Bellmaker 80, this is an 8-inch, and then this one is a 7-inch by 14. This is a cast iron snare, and it's probably about 50 pounds. It has cast iron hoops as well. And this one has the, this is made out of the same bell brass that's the Tama bell brass snare from 1980s made out of. So it's a 5mm thick, and this one sounds great when you're tuning it low, and this one sounds great when you're tuning it high. This is probably better for like Rush songs right here, and this one would be just like a great rock drum. So one of those will be the number one. We're not sure yet, but I'm gonna probably you know, rotate them out just to get a variety and keep me occupied. So that's it in a nutshell. I'll be taking these off, and they'll be going with me. And yeah, I got a great new microphone system, Telefunken and Sennheiser. So Telefunken bass drum mics, and I'll go over those, M82s. And then for the toms, I got a combination of Sennheiser and Telefunken. So all in all, it's going to be a great setup, a lot of equipment, and it's going to be loud. All right, so I'll next video I'll do probably just be of the setting up the drums and tuning them as we go along. And I think this one is probably long enough. It's like 20 minutes. So I just wanted to give everyone an idea of what I kind of do to keep me busy. I'm into it. I've been drumming for a long time, and it's fun to me. It's good therapy. In any event, everyone keep prepping, and hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Take care.